Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your questions. Get seen on TV, YouTube, and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Support your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. I am Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News at Lone Star Community Radio, downtown Conroe, the Conroe City Hall, Conroe Tower, FM 104.5, 106.1. We are live on Facebook, Lone Star Community Radio. We are live on YouTube and live streaming at irlonestar.com. We are live in person right here in the studio. So sitting across the table from me is Amanda Nutt and Debby Dykes, and they are the event coordinators for Momma Palozza, which we're going to talk about in our first segment. Second segment, it's going to be Henry's Horse and Human Sanctuary, and they're going to talk about PTSD and why they exist to help veterans. It helps the horses too. It's a good partnership. June is PTSD month, so we're going to bring awareness to what that means. The show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, and she is located at 3033 West Davis by Conroe High School and Taco Bell on Highway 105. Everybody knows where that's at. She serves people of all ages and backgrounds, from infants to seniors, weekend athletes to professionals, with a focus on natural holistic healing to not only relieve pain but also achieve optimal health. Dr. Stacy Rogers holds certifications in nutrition, prenatal, pediatric care, and it's only $37 to go see her as a new patient, and it all gets donated back to CASA, kids under the child welfare system under CPS. So go check it out. She also has an upcoming thing in July, as she does every year, for vendors, and I will be talking about that soon. It's free for everyone to come, but especially the ladies, because it's called Ladies Night Out. So what else is going on in Conroe this week? Well, it's still hot out, in case you haven't noticed. This is June. But you can sign up to be part of the City of Conroe Police Department Citizen Police Academy. It's free. It's a 10-week course to increase awareness with hands-on experiences to provide a real feeling of what it's really like to be of the Conroe Police Department. It's strictly for community people. It is not about getting into the police department or anything like that. It's a volunteer organization, and it's limited to 25 participants. Classes are going to be held on Tuesday evenings, 7 to 10 p.m., beginning June 25th. So if you are interested, you need to request an application from Officer Roy Dupuy, and he is RDUPUY at cityconroe.com. Go to their website, cityconroe.com, if you want to find more information. Finals for the 2000 Conroe Superstar Singing Contest begins June 12th. Well, that would be Wednesday, because today is June 10th. At 202 Main, first place winner will receive a management contract with Sparks Talent Agency. Woo! Contestants must be at least 13 years old and not have a major label record deal. The finals will be 7 p.m. June 12th, June 19th, and June 26th. And if you want more information, go to 202 Main and find that out. In addition, they will host a 6-course dinner and a brew pairing event, a 6-course prefix, on Friday, June 14th. That would be this Friday at 7 p.m. Sounds like a good Father's Day thing. I'm just going to throw that out there as well. If you want more information, again, go to 202 Main on their Facebook page to find out about that. And in honor of Father's Day, Pacific Yard House is bringing back Piano Punch. And if you haven't seen that before, it's great. You request what songs are going to play. Everybody joins it. It's a lot of fun. And, of course, you can get food, dinner, drinks, all of that. And that is happening Saturday, June 15th. And you don't have to RSVP or anything, but if you want a good seat, go earlier and sing along with your favorite songs. So, if you haven't noticed, we've had a lot of pop-up storms lately, and some have had a lot of wind, of course, rain, flooding, and you know this is hurricane season, so my word of wisdom today is be prepared. You can sign up for emergency alerts about severe weather by text, and you can learn about what you need to do to prepare. Again, that is on the cityofconroe.org. Right on their homepage, you will see information about how to prepare and how you can get texting alerts. If you haven't already signed up for text alerts, you need to do that because we have a lot of things that happen. And by the way, we haven't had a hurricane since 2017. So some say it's probably going to happen. I don't know. I'm not a weather person. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break and be back to talk about Momma Palozza.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
And we are back. I am Margie Taylor, your host, and we're going to talk about Momma Palozza. What year is this of Momma Palozza? Is this the second year, ladies?
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am.
We were here talking about this last year, but I know it's going to be even bigger and better, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So across from me is Amanda Nutt, and you have an event business, right?
Yes, I own Happy Times Event Services, LLC. I do everything that's event coordinating, planning. I do mobile bartending. I'm an event nanny.
And that's why you're doing Momma Palozza.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then we have Debbie Dykes, and Debbie has you have your own business too.
I
right?
do. I run Network in Action. We're a co-ed networking group here in the Conroe Magnolia area.
But together, you are helping with Momma Palozza.
Absolutely.
Yes. So how is it going? First of all, let's talk about when it is.
It's going to be June 22nd from noon to 5 at Spring Chateau in Spring, Texas.
Okay, and that's on FM 2920.
Right.
It's not too far. It's just on the edge, just past Montgomery County, off of 45, so you can get there pretty easily. And is this going to be indoors, outdoors?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yep.
And it's free.
It's absolutely free to attend, and it's a huge venue.
Okay.
We have some amazing vendors coming.
Tell me about it.
We got a lot of local vendors coming. We've got Nashville hot chicken coming. They
What
were
is
there
that?
last year. It is hot chicken from Nashville. I didn't even know this concept until they started coming out. They've come.
It's not the Dixie Chicks. I'm just trying to get this straight. Okay. It's real food.
It is actual real food, family owned and operated, owned by a mom. And then there's going to be entertainment. There's going to be princesses there. That's also a local company owned by a local mom. And we're also going to have some great speakers there
Is
this
that
year.
Blue Bonnet Entertainment?
Blue
Or somebody
Bonnet, I think it's going to be somebody else.
Okay.
Blue Bonnet comes to a lot of my events. She's not going to come to this one.
So you have some other princesses that are available for this day.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, fabulous. So what are some others, Debbie?
Well, the whole idea was to promote mom or mother-owned businesses.
I love that.
And so there'll be vendors, amazing vendors for handcrafted items. Some, not all of them are handcrafted, but they're all well done. They're beautifully made, and they're all mom or mother-owned businesses.
So it's about
that's the
supporting
whole
other
idea.
moms.
Absolutely.
And moms of all kinds, dog moms, child moms, all of them. Yep, we do have a
Grandmas?
dog. Oh, absolutely. The
Absolutely.
grandma's still raising the kids. Yep. We do have a dog mom coming out with special treats for dogs. She hand makes them at home, and she's going to have her dogs out there too.
That's really nice. So besides some of the vendors, you have workshops.
Yes.
Yes, we've got speakers, workshops. A returning speaker is going to be Jacqueline with Sanctuary of Surrender. She helps pregnant women who are going through traumatic situations and are homeless and just need those resources to get on their feet with their child, whatever decision they may make or whatever path they go down in life. She's helping. She's going to come out and speak with everything that she offers. We also have the Mama Bears Rising coming out.
Jessica.
Yes. Yep. And I believe Texas Children's Plan is going to be coming out again too with their resources with Medicaid and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. So you have a lot of different things, a lot of new knowledge and education for people, as well as having
Knowledge
fun
is
and
power.
entertainment for the kids as well. So, Homeschool Expo. I like that. Tell me about that.
Well, the Homeschool Expo, I believe that's kind of going to be a little bit more up Lila's territory, but that is going to be a great hub for homeschoolers to come and just gather information. I mean, I know as somebody that's been in the public school system for a while now, to suddenly enter into homeschooling is just...
It's a lot.
Oh, it is. It's
You
very...
need to know the resources and
that's
how
exactly
they
what
can
the
connect
idea
with other
is.
groups and go on field
And even
trips
trade
together
books.
and things like that.
And even
Yeah.
trade books. You got a second grader that graduated, and there's some mom there that's got a child going into second grade. Pass those books down, trade
That's
them
a great
off.
idea.
Things of that nature.
Well, things have changed a lot as far as homeschooling just in the last 5 years.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot more resources available, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's great. So that's what caught my eye. You also have a photo booth, self-defense demonstrations. Who's putting that on?
I can't remember the exact name of that company off the top of my head. That once again is Lila. She had gone and booked them, but they're going to be coming out and giving basic instructions
Okay,
on,
that's good to know.
on everyday things. I mean, you and I wouldn't necessarily know what to do if somebody came and grabbed us and we didn't have time to reach for our buddy in our purse.
I would
so
probably
it's
scream.
basic things. Yeah, absolutely. I'm never alone. So it's these basic things that they're going to be sharing with us.
Awareness. Bring
Yeah,
awareness.
absolutely.
And you're going to have food. We talked about the chicken.
Right.
So a bounce house, vendors, pampering stations. I want to know about that.
The pampering stations are going to be a little bit more for the kids. There's going to be some tattoos and stuff like that. And I believe we do have some women coming out with some beauty products they'd like to kind of show and demonstrate and things of that nature. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be something for every mom of every walk of life and every lifestyle and resources she may not have even realized she needed.
So what are you most excited about for this event?
I'm excited about it being at this much larger venue, and I'm excited
Okay.
that we've been working on this for an entire year, and I just want to see what the outcome is.
Seems
with a
like you're
bigger
better prepared for it this year. Like just
Oh, I'm
the
never
whole
prepared
planning.
for life. I'm just rolling with the punches.
No, but I'm just saying it appears that
We
way
learned
to
from
me.
last year's
Sure,
event
it's first time event.
on
That's
how
what
to
happens.
better coordinate
Yeah.
where the booths are and how many people we can manage and what kind of vendors that we want.
Did you have a good outcome last year with a lot
Over
of people?
500 people.
That's
We
a
did,
lot of
and
people.
we're expecting quite a few more. quite
Because this
honestly.
venue can accommodate way more than 500.
Right.
Well, that's nice. It sounds like a great event. And again, it's free, and it's noon to 5 at 4010 FM 2920. Do you have space for more vendors or people to participate?
We do outside. We do have plenty of room outside. Right now, our inside, I believe we might have 1 or 2 spaces left. But outside is still definitely open, and we welcome all kinds of food trucks
Bring
also.
a tent, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes. If you're new to Texas, yes, you will need a canopy. Yes.
Chairs, table, all of that. How does someone get in touch with you? What is the best way?
Well, they can connect with us on the Momma Palozza site.
And that's on Facebook. You can
And
just
that's
put
on
Momma
Face-
Palozza in there.
Correct.
And that's MOMMA
Right.
PALOZZA. Mama, not MA, it's MO, Mama.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I want to point out, mostly because I'm really I'm excited about it, and it's one of those. It's the area that I'm sponsoring is the Kidpreneur area.
Oh, tell me about that.
So we invited kids anywhere from, what was it, 10 to 18,
Something like that.
in that range, that had their own business or were creating products that they wanted to sell. And we invited them to set up their booth, display their product, and sell their product.
Wow.
And it's everywhere
That's pretty
from
amazing.
Like lipsticks all the way up to some amazing dog treats and
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards. I mean, just the whole idea is to kind of inspire these kids to get engaged and learn how to be a business owner. So we created this kidpreneur section, and these kids will be demonstrating or selling their own product that they've made themselves, or they've come up with the idea. We go through and they are awarded a certificate, and we do ask them questions about how they got into their business, and it just never ceases to amaze me how smart these kids are, how they have come up with the idea, how they created the product, how they tweaked the product to make sure it was perfect for whatever their industry was. And they know their business plans. They know their goals. They know how they want to get from point A to point B and become an adult entrepreneur.
I like
so
hearing
this
about
is this is kind of our way of encouraging that,
Yeah.
because we're all business owners ourselves.
Yeah.
So if we can't encourage the next
It's
next
mentoring.
generation,
Yeah.
absolutely, that's our goal. We want to, and they'll, like I said, they'll be given an award for the most innovative product, and their marketing and that type thing. So
I like
I'm
that.
pretty excited about that.
That's
She's
good
worked
to know.
really hard on it. It's
I wish
really
I would have
cool.
knew that before I wrote my story that's going to be in the Courier. Well, we're using a gentleman that I understand was at the Conroe Chamber. Was there a breakfast or something last week or something recently? I don't know. Drone. He is starting a drone business,
Yes.
and he's going to be in our August magazine.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so that's what we do. So, no, I love hearing that. That's very innovative, and it encourages them to learn so many different things, that people don't teach you necessarily in school.
Yeah.
And, you learn by failing, unfortunately, sometimes too.
humans.
It's lessons learned in
That's
life.
humans,
That doesn't
yeah.
mean that you stop. You keep trying until you make a better model kind of thing.
And they
Well, that's
are.
nice.
They have come up with some really innovative, creative ideas on products and things to sell. It's really kind of neat to see them.
That's exciting.
It is.
That's a great idea. Did you come up with that to do that?
Last
Debbie?
year we did.
That's very
So,
nice.
And I love the fact, well, of course, my business is all about business owners anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of was a natural fit. So if I can encourage,
It's like the
others-
junior network in action.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
You should do a junior network in action.
Especially during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I'd love to have a small business, a kidpreneur business as kind of a mentee type
I think that's a
role
great idea.
in the group.
And you could have your members
And then they would be
mentor
exposed
others,
to all
'Cause
different
then that would
businesses.
teach them how to do a better job of training also by putting things in step.
Well, what better group
a
of
thought.
people to learn from
We got off track.
than the business people that were already
Absolutely. Yes.
in our community?
That have tried things and have found the right way to move forward
Absolutely right.
successfully and train
Exactly
people,
right.
staff, whatever, market their business. What
Yes.
methods do they use?
What did they use that didn't work? But
Well,
this
that's
is,
what I'm saying, yeah.
and we could learn from them. Their resilience, their like I said, their creativity. It's really impressive to see these
Unfiltered.
kids. Oh, absolutely, definitely. These kids are just amazing. They're smart. They're creative.
Well, that's
they're-
worth saying, if nothing else, is to come out there and encourage them to keep going.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, what else can people expect out there, Amanda?
Well, they can definitely expect to find resources and just kind of come together with the community, the local community from all around, from Conroe, from here, and just come together. And this is just a community event, like she said, for kids, for moms, and just to kind of bring awareness to the local businesses, to not shop the big names as much anymore. You have this in your backyard, you have all these resources. And, just get out for a day where the kids can do something that doesn't cost a fortune, too.
Well, it's a place where you can build relationships, it sounds like to me.
Absolutely.
And I always try to keep that in mind, to shop from local people who
Yeah.
are putting their everything into growing their business for their family.
Oh, yeah.
And, instead of these big box places that are here and gone and they don't really have a relationship with you.
Right.
Right.
So that's very important. So again, this is Saturday, the 22nd, not this Saturday, but in
A week
couple
from
of weeks.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just noon to 5 and pretty easy to get to, 4010 FM 2920. So go to Momma Palozza on Facebook, put it in the search, and then that will also take you to a link that pretty much says the same thing, but another off-site link telling all about the activities, what to expect, and I believe you have information on there if somebody wants to contact you or message you or whatever.
Yes.
About still getting involved. What is the cost for a vendor space that you have left?
It's $120 to be inside and $75 to be
But
outside.
75 is all you have left. the
I
outside,
mean,
right?
yeah.
For the most part, unless somebody cancels or something
Right.
else
I mean,
going
I
on.
think I think we have one space left inside right now.
Okay, well then you need to run.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you want
Call
to be
us
inside
out.
in the cool. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing this information. I hope it's wildly successful, and you
Thank
take
you.
lots of photos and
Absolutely.
then send some to me, because you never know, it might be in the magazine.
Awesome.
Because that's what I do.
Well,
I'm
thank
always
you.
looking for different things that have happened around the community, and I hope your businesses keep on growing. How long have you had your business, Debbie?
My 6th anniversary is in August.
6.
6 years.
Congratulations.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So
And Amanda, how long have you had your event business?
My event business going on 10 years.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I've had my business 10 years too. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
So you just never know where life's going to take you, right?
Exactly.
oh, exactly right.
Yep. Yep. You gotta roll with the punches.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you very much,
Thank you
ladies.
for having us.
And we will see you again next time.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank
looking
you.
forward to
All right.
it, and thank you for having us.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
We have the safest food supply in the world. Strict laws and regulations restrict the usage of hormones, antibiotics, and pesticides within our food supply. Production agriculture practices and technologies such as the use of GMOs, which is not any more or less risky than conventional crop production, has allowed American farmers to produce more food on less acres in environmentally sound ways. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension, helping Texans make lives better.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gold Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas ticket.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Hello, everyone, and we are live in our second segment here today. And sitting across the table from me is Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary representatives. I have David Arenas.
Yes, ma'am.
Arenas, he is the veteran liaison, and Donna Stedman was the founder who started Henry's. And we're going to talk about what's going on there. There's been some storm damage, how you can help. But we're also going to talk about PTSD, and June is PTSD Awareness Month. So what is PTSD, David?
Well, the name is post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's just something that with most of us that go through a traumatic event, it's one of those that just keeps on coming back, and he's like, we're not too sure how to get rid of it. So as a veteran, I did 10 years in the Marine Corps. Some of the trauma from that, it's just that repetition that keeps coming back, and now it's outside of the military is how are we going to cope with it? So again, what Donna has imagined and invented is a place to where PTSD is, irrelevant in my eyes, because even though it's still there, she's given us as veterans and first responders a place to know that we're going to be okay. So
good.
And PTSD is not just for combat veterans and first responders. Life can give us PTSD, right? And so we not only serve veterans and first responders, but really every civilian that comes out there, every family member, everybody can be maybe not
Something
completely
traumatic.
healed from this trauma. And a lot of it is childhood trauma that happens to us in our life. But you got to find ways to live with this thing, to work on healing it. There are modalities. Henry's Home is just one of them.
Mm-hmm. So how is it that the horses and the therapy, the equine therapy, helps people?
It helps in many ways. I know for me it was the regulation of my own emotions, and the same thing for the veterans. And just like you said, Donna, anybody that comes, our volunteers, they benefit from that because of the hands-on experience and then going through some of the lessons. It's helped me, again, regulate my emotions, regulate, just anything that I'm going through. So my depression, that the energy that the horses give off, oh my God, it's like going through an x-ray, but in a good way, because I'm taking a look at myself and being like, okay, this is what this horse is telling me. So
how does that happen?
It's the connection with just people in general. We feel that warmth, or like, hey, I feel Adonna's presence, so I feel this warmness. And the same thing with you.
They pick up on it.
Yes. And so with a human, it's been pounded in my brain by Donna and Krista, who's our equine director, to where a human heart can go out 10 feet, where a horse's heart can go 60 feet. So that's almost 5 or 6 car lengths in between somebody. So before you even know what's going on with you, that horse knows that something inside of you is just not right. So that combination and the bond between horse and human, there's really a magical, it is a magical experience for, again, those, for myself and those who have gone through our programs.
How long have you been there at Henry's?
As far as a volunteer, I believe it'll be coming up on 2 years.
Okay.
And as the veteran liaison, as full staff, it's been a month. So just being in this position and being able to use.
But you're not new to it because you've been there working with them. Yes.
No.
So Donna, you're the creator, the founder that got this all going. And how long did it take for you to get this place going? I know things simmer in your mind.
Yeah,
for
you know
a while.
my story.
Yes.
Sometimes things happen behind the scenes that people are not aware of. They think, wow, this was an overnight success. They don't realize the years.
It's a lot of work.
For me, this started 30 years ago with a conversation with God that I had, that when I was looking for my purpose, he told me that I'd be having a retreat center someday, that it would be a place where people come to heal their souls. And he kept saying to me a couple of times in this conversation, keep seeking me, and when the time is right, I'll take care of the land, the money, and the people. Well, I didn't get any bigger details than that. He forgot to mention to me, or else I wasn't ready to hear yet. You have to build this thing. You know, somehow I just thought I was going to have this retreat center someday.
Just wake up and there it is.
And so I spent about 20 years waiting for this, thinking I was ready at 35 years old, but looking back at my life now and realizing I had a lot of ups and downs to go through. I had to learn boundaries. I had to lose all of our money so that it would become a community event and not or a place and not mine. I had a lot of stuff to go through in my life, and it started physically about 12, 13 years ago with going down to the SPCA to pick out Henry and Lexi for a personal family reason, and bringing them home and spending about 2 years with them, starting a little trail riding business because I had to figure out a way to pay for this, because I'd promised my husband I wouldn't use any of our money if I got these horses. My daughter will tell you that she got a call from me while she was at college that said, the voicemail said, I just got 2 horses, don't tell your dad.
Yeah,
you know,
I know about those conversations.
Yeah, you know, and
you
so
can't hide them easily either.
Well, yeah, not horses.
No. And so I found a place to board them, and I started the little trail riding business to pay for them. And one night I was just sitting around a campfire with some of my regular riders, and I thought, God, you've got somebody here with law experience, and you've got somebody with financial experience, and somebody with nonprofit experience, and one of my veterans. And I'd always let the veterans ride free or get involved in a deeper way with us, because my son, who had graduated from West Point in 2010 and was an Apache pilot, I think he was on his first deployment at that time, but I was watching how the military was changing him and putting up walls around his emotions and his heart and stuff, and just to protect yourself, you have to learn to do that. And so I incorporated it. I bought How to Incorporate a Nonprofit for Dummies books. I mean, I incorporated it and started it, and 5 moves later, 10 years after that, we are on this beautiful piece of 21-acre piece of land that was donated to us by one of our volunteers, and just watching,
It's wonderful.
Watching God grow this thing has been it's been a remarkable thing in my life personally. And tell me a little bit about your experience out there.
Oh,
you started
Point it
going.
on me.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing like it when you're there on the ranch, and for me with Krista, and when a horse decided I was their person to come to me, and I'm like, well, and followed me around. I'm like, well, you chose me, I guess, then you're my horse. I haven't been out there in a while. Feels like maybe January or something, because life got in the way and all of that. But it's like when you come in the gate, you just change.
Yeah.
There's something about it, you just change. I guess if you could relate it to going to Disney World or something like that without the crowd, so you're in another whole sphere, but yet it's comforting, it's tranquil, you feel a sense of calmness because there's nothing else going on but just being, I guess. Just being and being with the horses because they're interesting to watch because they have their own cliques, so to speak, and who they hang with. And when you watch them, I did not know this because I hadn't been around horses that much. When you watch them, you can see that some have preferred cliques and some are the outsiders that aren't allowed into their cliques, and they will make you go away as a horse. And you have to find your own cliques. Although some everybody likes. They go, this horse doesn't bother us.
They're just like people, aren't they? They
It
have
is. That's what's so
personalities.
funny is to watch them and see their characteristics. You know, I find that amazing.
No, and it's true. And like you said, it's when you walk through the gate, it's like whatever you brought, whatever was on your mind before you crossed that threshold, it's gone.
It's gone.
And we're right next to 45, and you wouldn't think that.
No.
I mean, most of the...
It's like a new world.
Yeah, so when we get people saying, oh, we didn't even know you were back here. I mean, it's attraction that we're getting as far as the community support and just the community outreach we're getting out there. But to know that everyone that passes through feels the same thing, I felt the same. My first time, I was like, oh my God, and then like just dew on the grass. It just...
That's right. We have groups now of veterans coming from all over the country.
Do you?
As we're offering the equine therapeutic time for the Operation Red Wing Foundation. They used to be Lone Survivor. They offer the 1-week retreats to veterans who come from all over the country for healing, and they come out to do their equine time with us. And our feedback that we get from these guys all over the country is, gosh, I would give anything to have a place like this in my town.
Yes.
You know, I wish we could. We have a lot of volunteer groups from corporations and just different other nonprofits and all schools and churches and all kinds of different groups that come out to do land projects with us, volunteer projects with us, and they get always a little bit of horse time too. And
that must
a lot
excite
of
you
them
to see the growth and all the people coming out and learning about Henry's.
It's been an amazing thing. We went from having a few volunteers where I did most of the work to having a few more volunteers where I did some of the work to having a lot of volunteers that just pitched in and helped with so many things and really helped to build out this property. And it's really in the process of being extremely built out right now in a much more we've been in scarcity mode for the last 10 years. And what I mean by that is when you're a nonprofit and you have to spend most of and you're supported by the community, you have to spend most of your time fundraising, networking, letting the community know about you so that you remember I was coming out to every friggin' chamber meeting and speaking at all the churches and stuff like that because it was my job as the executive director to be bringing in the funds to fund this thing. You know, how do you come up with, we have at any one time about 30 rescue horses that we give a forever life home to. And you have to, that's a lot of money. And just with the land and all the costs that are related to that and the programs and the horses, we have to come up with about $35,000, $40,000 a month to keep the place running. And that was before we had any salaries. That was when we were an all-volunteer organization. And if it all comes from within your community and you don't know from day to day where it's coming from, or if you're going to be able to pay the bills at the end of the month, people used to ask me all the time as the executive director, how do you sleep at night? And I said, well, I sleep at night because I know that God's got this thing. If I didn't know that God's got this thing, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. My ego lived in scared to death land, and how are we ever going to know whether the bills are going to get paid or not? But after 12 years of watching him get all those bills paid every single month, it was all about learning to trust and learning to land on your faith instead of your ego.
Amen. Yes.
But being and most nonprofits are in scarcity all the time. They are spending. You talk to a lot of nonprofit executive directors and founders, and they spend. And you're probably finding the same thing now with the organization that you started. You spend all of your time trying to figure out how to fund it, how to spread the word of it, how to help people, how to get to the people that need it. how to build this thing in this community. And I know I was putting in 80 hours a week. I was going home. I slept on my air mattress in my office for almost 8 years until we got a wonderful little RV donated to us, and then I slept on that for a few months, and that felt so luxurious, you can imagine.
Absolutely.
But you do what you have to do to build this purpose, and for me, I've never had a choice, because as the founder, I've known I was going to be doing a retreat center someday, and I've known that Henry's Home was building towards that retreat center. And so I couldn't say, I'm sorry, but man, I want to go home. Forget this, I want to go home and sleep in my own bed again and not worry about money all the time and not be stressed out about time all the time. And what I know is that you cannot create when you're in scarcity. When you're living in fear, you can't create in that, because that everything comes from energy, right? And energy is either based in love or in fear. And if you're thinking about fear all the time because you're letting your ego control what's going on in your life, it's a pretty hard way to create anything. And I was very blessed a couple of months ago, I guess it's been now about 6 months ago, ran into an old friend at a friend's house, at his office actually, Darlene Gagnon, and hadn't seen her for a couple of years, didn't know she was following us on Facebook and social media. And when I ran into her, she came up to me and said, "Oh my God, Donna, I've been following you. You guys are doing so great. I'm seeing how much community involvement you've got." And I said, "Thank you. Could you tell me your name again?"
You're right.
Hey, man.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh my gosh." And I said, "Darlene," because her son, as a veteran leaving the Navy, had come and spent a couple of months with us and really healed him and started him on a new path. And that's why she had always followed us and been interested in this. And I knew that she and her husband were running a couple of marketing businesses. And at the time, we really needed a new marketing person to be on our board of directors. And I knew you were tied up with your own life, and I needed somebody that would give me the time that I needed for a board member. And so I said to her, just out of the blue, it just popped out of my mouth, was, "Would you have any interest in coming on our board of directors and be our marketing person for that?" And she took one look at that, thought about it for a second, and she said, "Absolutely, I'd love to come on." And I said, "Well, of course, I have to have my board agree to this and everything," but took that home, left there with goosebumps all up and down my back and shoulders, and that's part of the way the Spirit speaks to me, is with goosebumps. We all are spoken to in a different way. And the board voted her on. She came on. She helped run our fundraiser for the first month there. Talk about being thrown into the deep end of the pool.
And that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. And she and her husband just jumped right in. And just about a month or so later, they came to me. The board came to me. I guess it was a couple months later. The board came to me and said, "We have a proposition for you, Donna. We would like to help take this to the next level. We know about your vision of the retreat. We know about your vision for helping people in our community more. And we can't even begin to wrap our minds around about how you guys have done all of this as volunteers, you and Krista and Vicki and the people that were my leadership team and all the volunteers out there." And so we had one of our board members come forward and say, "I will fund some salaried positions."
Wow.
And I've never had that as a possibility before.
That's very big.
Yes, and so they talked about that, and they came to me with this proposition of, we want to hire an executive director, a full-time executive director, so that you can start doing the things in your life that bring you joy. If you want to come out and groom the horses, which I never had time to do, because I was building, grants, propositions and stuff. So we will come up with the funding for an executive director, but we're not ready to do that yet, because right now our executive director position includes ranch work and networking and fundraising and fixing the tractor and taking care of the horse chores
Operations.
and everything. It was
yes.
everything.
Right.
And that's no executive director in their right mind is going to come in and take over that kind of a job. I don't care how
Some
much
do.
you pay them.
Some
do they?
Yes.
Yeah. And so Darlene had offered, and they had come up with an understanding that Darlene could come in for 6 months and fill an interim executive director position for us so that I could step away and start working on some other stuff that I loved doing. And so I said, that sounds absolutely wonderful. I can't believe this. She put her businesses on, she didn't put them on hold. She gave them to her team. She's got great teams in place. And so she walked away from her businesses and took over as interim executive director with the funding from our board to pay for some positions, to hire bookkeeper, hire veterans liaison, hire marketing people, team. Just having people to fund some of those things that always
That's
had been
amazing.
done by volunteers and by me. And so I was able to step away, and I am.
It's been a long time coming.
I don't think I realized how completely exhausted I was until I started to be able to sleep in and not wake up to an alarm clock every morning at sunrise, and not feel like I've got to be rushing every minute everywhere I go all the time, because I couldn't afford to waste 2 minutes waiting in line for something.
It's a frantic way to live.
It's a frantic way to live, and it's what we call scarcity mode. And it's scarcity of time, scarcity of assets, scarcity of thinking time, all of this stuff. And so I am so enjoying over the last month watching from behind the scenes everything that's going on up there. And they are doing an incredible job of building out the property and continuing to work on growing the veterans program and the program that we offer for first responders. They're just doing an incredible job of that. And I'm in the background now starting to manifest this retreat center. And I couldn't do that. When I look back at this now through the last month of starting to write my book and starting to really delve back into my spiritual self, delve back into the 20 years that I spent seeking God and what we mean by that brought Henry's home to begin with. I didn't have the time while I was doing it to really
'cause you were too much
delve
in a
back
frenzy.
into remembering the law of attraction and remembering that our thinking brings
Even what
everything
day it
into
is
our
or where
life
you're
and
supposed to be and
all
all
of that
I
stuff.
get that.
Yeah, so I'm right now back into being full-time, just studying and remembering to meditate and remembering to breathe and working on my thinking.
It's so hard to get
working on
to
my
bring it down.
It took
when
me a
you're in-
while. Yes, it took
Just-
me a little while.
I mean, I can personally relate to that.
Can you tell us?
Yes, I wake up and I go, what day is it? Wait, where am I supposed to be? And I have to write it on a calendar where I can see it.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm good for now.
Yes.
But yeah, you're in that frantic mode and people say, well, meditate. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
Stop and breathe.
Right. And that's why I'm very, very excited right now about the role I'm playing in Henry's Home as the founder.
That's great.
I am having the opportunity, not having to worry about any of the day-to-day operation anymore, is being able to spend 100% of my time preparing for this retreat center that God is bringing us. That's
wonderful.
had in escrow my whole life. That now I'm just learning. Now I'm just having the time to work on that.
And that will be there at Henry's.
No, it's going to be on
okay.
a totally different land, a much
Okay.
bigger and better land. And I'm not trying to put any details to it because I make plans and it makes God laugh.
Yes.
You know how that is. And so I'm working between me and God in allowing this new place and thing to happen that Henry's Home will all be a part of. But it's going to be an incredible retreat center, too, that's going to bring people from all over the world. And we're going to finally have the opportunity to be able to offer some of these veteran service organizations that we work with, Wounded Warriors and Operation Red Wing and Warriors Reunion Foundation, which I loved having them come out to work with us, but they can't afford to do retreats down in Houston any longer. My goal is to have this retreat center one that these organizations can come and have their retreats for free. It's going to be a nonprofit. And
So will it be a standalone then, not connected to
it will
Henry's
be,
as a
yeah.
nonprofit?
It'll be on the
Okay.
same land, but Henry's Home is going to have a piece of that land, and then the retreat center is going to have a piece of that land too. And that's going to all be supporting each other and being connected, but they're going to be two different standalone nonprofits too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big endeavor.
I figure that the last 65 years of my life personally has been preparing me for this
That's the way it
hardest,
always works.
hardest of all things.
I get that part too.
Yes, you're doing the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. And
pretty much.
Look at all the things that had to fall into place in teaching you to be prepared for this.
That is absolutely true. I believe that every day, that you go through chapters in your life that gained you the experience that you never expected to be in the chapter you're living now.
Yes.
But it makes sense, right? When you let
And
God
the things that you
show
wouldn't
you where
choose to
Yes.
have happen in your life, and
Oh,
yet
yes.
they had to happen to bring you into this next chapter.
That's true. We're in sync.
Yes.
We're speaking the same
Yes.
language. So, changing the subject slightly, you've had some damage from the storm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need from people?
Oh man,
Money.
yeah,
Money
donations
always
are the
comes
big-
down to
yeah,
the
it's,
number one thing.
Funds to
just to help with
because you've
the-
had some buildings
yeah,
that
some
need
roof-
repair.
Yeah, roofs some blew off, some panels and
Trees
things like
down
trees
on
down.
fences and things like that.
Have you
yeah.
had the trees removed yet?
Not yet. We were actually trying to check that out today, but with
Okay.
it's just still a little wet, so we can't really get the companies to go back there yet.
So you need funds, you need people to help do this. Let's say they're tree people that do this.
Always.
So you
We're
need
very
people
grateful
to
for
use their
in-kind
skill
donations
sets
of
Yes.
companies,
to help
yes.
with different things.
Yes.
And so what other volunteer opportunities are there right now?
Whoa.
Your website is down. They can't go to the
No,
website and go
no,
look
right,
at it.
So it's
because
a
that's under
working- yeah, it's a
construction.
working ranch, so anywhere and everywhere is what we're needed. So from cleaning out feed buckets to picking up, manure.
The regular maintenance of
that's-
horses,
yes, and then-
everyday
Land,
stuff,
right,
And the business.
and the
There's
business. And you
always-
need people to still adopt horses?
No, we've never adopted out horses.
Okay.
We've always kept them for the rest of their life at our place.
Right, but I
Yeah.
don't mean adopt.
Oh,
I mean as a monthly
sponsor,
donation
yes.
sponsor. probably
Sponsoring a
didn't use
horse
the right
would
word.
be
yes.
incredible. It's $6,000 a year or $500 a month to sponsor a horse. And I was going to say you can get on our website and meet our horses, but you can
can't.
come out and
No,
meet
it's
our
currently
horses
down,
if you
yeah.
would like to sponsor a horse. And that doesn't mean that you can come out and ride, because the only people that ride or really do much in the way of handling the horses are through our veterans and first responder program. Our civilian volunteers don't really do that. But just like all the police departments have somebody that sponsors, or a corporation or a group that sponsors a horse, that helps us pay for their costs and give them the kind of care that they need. You can imagine emergency veterinary costs for these older horses that have served already, and some of them have come from the Houston Police Department. Costs
They
a
all
lot
have
of
a
money.
background.
Yes.
They all have a background. Yeah,
Which
they're
is why it fits the organization so well, because the individuals that come, the veterans and first responders, we all have our own background, and we all have our own trauma. So
It's a good pairing.
Yes, so
a lot of these
they
horses
understand.
have PTSD when they come to us.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it is a good pairing.
And the work that
And they need you as much as you need them.
exactly. That's why it's the partnership.
perfect.
Yes.
I think if
It's
somebody
healing.
wants to know about how they can really help us with volunteering, with money, we have an 800 number now. It's an 888 number.
It is on the Facebook
And
page.
it's on the Facebook
Yeah.
page. Yeah. Go to our social media.
henryshomesanctuary.org, and it's still up there. You can see the number and all that.
Yeah. And follow us on our social media, because our marketing team does a great job of putting a story up almost every day on our Facebook page. I'm not sure about Instagram. I think they are trying to do Instagram too, but again, who
They
has
do.
the
It's
time to do all
connected.
this
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
I see it.
I think good, good.
Yeah,
good.
I pay attention.
And with the summer months, we will be closing just so we're in Texas and the heat is unbearable. So, but it also allows us to kind of fine tune some things before we open.
Focus
up back
on
in the
things
fall.
what you need to do.
Yes. So.
And we've got one of the coolest things that we're doing right now is we got a grant from Disabled Veterans National Foundation for a driving program. And that's been in the process. Krista's been learning. We've
The
got
carriage?
carts.
Yes.
Yes, the carriages.
Oh yeah.
We're learning to teach, or we're
You're not
learning,
quite ready
and the
for that
horses
yet,
are ready.
right?
No, no.
They're still all in training,
Yes.
but that's going to be part of our veterans
That was
program
around the
too.
last time I was out there.
Yeah, yeah, but that's in the process. She's learning, and the horses are learning, and it's happening.
Yeah.
You know.
So
That's
when we-
pretty cool. That would be
gonna
cool
have
to
the
take into
only-
the parades too.
maybe.
We don't necessarily want to stress our horses out by taking them off the property. You know, our goal is to not only serve the people that we serve, but also really give these horses the very best retirement life they can with the most
And they
peace
stay there
and
forever.
joy.
It's
They
their
do.
ever and ever place. They don't get moved again.
Never.
Unless it's to our little memorial that we have
You're right.
on the
Yeah.
property.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do
when
have
they
one on the
die,
property.
we have a little memorial.
Yeah.
for
So
'em.
it's located at 14638 Perry Road, and you can follow their Facebook page and just put it in there, Henry's Horse Human Sanctuary. You'll find it by putting that in the search box of Facebook, on Instagram as well. Henry's Home Sanctuary.org, and their website is under development right now, but you can still see all the vital information on there. And certainly follow them. I love going out there. I just haven't had the time, and I was trying to go out there every week, and that's just not possible in my
No,
world
we're
right
gonna
now.
get you back
But I'll
in
be
there
back.
somehow.
I'll be back. It does help with healing and growth, and it's good for the horses. It's good for the soul, and it's just a happy place to be. It's simple. It's about just being.
Yes.
Right, David?
That's it. I mean,
Just being.
Get away from the traffic for a minute, you know.
Yeah, you don't even
and
hear
just-
traffic. You don't hear
No, you
anything.
don't.
It's
Just
just
get
the
away
trees
from
and the
all
horses.
the worries and everything you have in your
There's
life.
a few other animals out there.
the pigs.
Some
Our
pigs,
pigs are usually when Operation Red Wing.
geese, all of that. So,
And you
well,
can come out and help us with the gardens. We
yes,
need garden
there's always
watering right
something
now.
to do.
Yes.
There's always something to do. Well, anyhow, I appreciate you both coming on and sharing. And this is PTSD month, and June 27th is National PTSD Awareness Day. So, anyhow, I look
you.
forward to seeing
Thank
y'all
you for
out at the
having
ranch.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you for hanging in with all the important things you're doing.
Well, thank you. And also thank you to Roger Stein Chiropractic for sponsoring the show.